everybody, and welcome to another episode of Three Dads and a Console. We know not every dad can stay up to date on the latest and greatest in video game news that you need to know about, so we are here to do it for you. And remember that generally this show is kid-friendly. So no earmuffs. So no earmuffs. I love how both of you guys that hit your brains at the same time. So no earmuffs are needed. Now on with the show. I'm one of your hosts, definitely prepared Wobble Plays, alongside the Dragon Court.
Hey, what's going on? The Dragon, dude, he's tight. So last night I'm watching the hockey game. Like, Pez, I went to bed and it was only 3-1. And I wouldn't say the word went to bed. I passed out because the game was so boring. And it was interesting because I had someone tell me in the morning, they're like, no, the Bruins were great in the second period. I was like,
yeah, they got a goal.
Was I watching a different hockey game? Because they were losing 3-1 and they were terrible after 25 seconds into the game. Then none other than Trent Frederick gets a bonehead interference penalty.
Correct. Good penalty. Good take.
To the team that has the second best power play in the league. Anyways, and I fell asleep watching the hockey game, and I woke up like old man styles. I had the converter still in my hand. I'm just like, oh, and by the way, do you call converter or remote?
What converter? What?
Okay.
A channel converter.
So I think it's a Canadian thing. So we all call it a converter in Canada.
I've never heard
that's wild, and I think illegal here. They call it the clicker.
Oh, clicker is a good one.
The clicker
is a good one.
Yeah, so it's called a converter here.
That's weird.
Like, so many people are like remote or converter. That's the two things.
You learn a little bit of metric slang every day. We are also here with the man.
It is not the time to ever say that, like, I'm proud to be American. Like, you can just let that one go.
Oh, just metric things. Yeah, we're also here with the man that puts the hoe in holiday, Pez.
Hose, my dudes.
Hold on. He puts the hoe in holiday.
Yeah, because he's jolly.
Because I'm holly and or jolly.
That is what we like to call a joke that would get past the censors.
That's right. Suck it, NBC. Just wait till we get on prime time.
We're coming for you.
We're coming, ABC. What's up, guys? How's it going?
It's going.
Poop.
So it's funny we talk about in past episodes. We're like, I think it was last week where you're like, I don't know if we talked about video games, even though we are.
I don't think we talked about video games last week.
That's fine, because today we are chock full of the video games. We actually have a full.
Nar.
Well, to be fair, we had to talk about the thing. Shout out to our boys in Australia.
Shout out we do a lot of Spirit Animal podcast.
What?
The Otaku is whatever podcast, the number 2, like the Venn diagram with my interests is like, I don't know what's happening.
It's basically one circle.
Like, it's wild that we're like, it's us and anime and we oh, that was so funny. So we have a lot of games to talk about. Some new, some most new.
I am never going to talk about new games.
But we have a new one to talk about right now, and that is Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, that's
and
thing.
Pez had some time to play it. So Pez, as the Overwatch apologist, let us know your thoughts on Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, why am I an apologist?
Why am I an apologist? I've never apologized for anything in my life.
Game sucks poop.
Game sucks, bud. No, Marvel Rivals, for those not in the know, it is a hero shooter a la Overwatch. If you want a full detailed breakdown of Marvel Rivals, go check out my review over at 3dadsconsole.com. Amazing. But I titled this episode, Is Marvel Rivals an Overwatch Killer? So here is my quick and dirty of Rivals and why I think it could be Overwatch.
Why do you gotta be so quick and dirty about it?
Because that is how the holidays do it.
Ooh, you're a ho.
Hose, baby. Let's go. Papa
Boats.
Pezzi in the building. So, first let's talk about the similarities. Overwatch, Marvel Rivals, hero shooter has 3 distinct classes. Tank, the tank class called Vanguard, the DPS called Duelist, and the support called Strategy. Your goal is to either attack and defend a payload or attack and defend a point, right? We're talking Overwatch mode straight out of Overwatch. Much like Overwatch, your DPS / duelists make up the most of your roster. Unlike Overwatch, Marvel Rivals has 33 heroes upon launch. A lot of them we know and love: Magneto, Wolverine, Spider-Man, Venom.
I'm sorry, but I need to comment on how terrible Wolverine looks.
No, he's not. He's lore
Waba,
accurate.
we're not asking your opinion. You haven't played the game. You're not allowed to talk.
I know about this stuff.
No, I don't care. You didn't play the game. I've played the game.
May I give you my hypothesis is why?
Okay.
He doesn't
agree
look
with me, though?
like Wolverine, so you will go buy the Wolverine skin. Because if you go into the store right now, there are all MCU style skins. So you have the
well played, Paz.
Deadpool and Wolverine skin, and you have the Scarlet Witch.
That makes way more sense.
Whatever, Method of Madness. I forget what that movie was called.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Bad Spider-Man movie.
Your Iron Spider from Far From Home. So unlike Overwatch, there is no role queue. So if you want to rock 6 tanks, rock your 6 tanks. You want to roll 4 supports and 2 DPSs, get after it, baby. Whatever fills that stocking, you know what I mean? Because in Overwatch, when you play Overwatch, you have to roll queue. A tank, 2 DPS, 2 supports.
What does that mean, row queue?
So you have to queue into roles. Every team has to get a tank, 2 DPS, and 2 supports. You can't mix it up any other composition than that. Marvel Rivals doesn't do that. To combat that, what they do is they have team up abilities. So let's say Venom, Spider-Man, and Penny Parker. If you have Venom and any combination of those 2, Penny Parker and Spider-Man get a symbiote sword that they can then use because it's the power of Venom. Groot, Rocket, Raccoon, and Jeff the Landshark. By the way, shout out Jeff the Landshark. He is I don't actually know what he's from.
Isn't he from? Oh, I was about to say DC.
Nope.
No, I know that. It's just because this is Marvel Rivals.
King Shark.
Is Iron Man still garbage?
Oh, Jeff is from like Gwenpool. It looks like.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I've never used them.
Why'd you come in so quietly there? You were like,
sorry, because I was reading. I'm on Wikipedia.com.
So if you're using Groot and someone has either Rocket or Jeff the Landshark, those guys can jump on his back and they take a 30% damage reduction. So that is how Marvel Rivals. I almost called it Marvel Knights. Also a dope ass name for a game. Close. Marvel Rivals. That's how they kind of get around that no role queue by having these team up abilities. What I really like about the game, and I hope that they don't go the Overwatch route, is it is chaotic and it's semi-unbalanced. There are heroes that are very, very powerful, like Iron Fist, like Wolverine. And there are some heroes, Squirrel Girl, super, super powerful. And there are some that aren't. But every hero is still capable of making big plays. My biggest worry through all of this is that they are going to introduce an esports element to it. They're going to listen to people on subreddits and whatnot. And this game is going to become just another Overwatch copy. And it's just going to be carbon copy Overwatch, your role queue.
That is happening.
Your horrible, your horrible balance patches. People are going to complain that like, oh, Wolverine's way too OP. Then they're going to bring him down. He's going to be terrible. And you're going to have these balancing problems for the next 3 years. And then, people just stop playing it. The reason I ask, is it an Overwatch killer? Number 1, it's fun. But number 2, the Steam charts are out of control right now. Currently,
it made Indiana Jones look like it's baby.
Currently, there are 387,000 players playing this game, and it peaked at 480,000 all time 3 days ago. So that was probably Sunday.
Is it on all platforms? I know that's just Steam numbers.
And that's just Steam. It's on all platforms. It is crossplay. What I like that they did is you can do console only servers if you're just playing with console people. It's not like these games now that are mostly forced crossplay, so it seems like the population is larger. And I lost my train of thought.
You're using the Force.
Talking numbers.
And this
Do you
game
think
has
they add Star Wars characters because it's Disney?
that'd be nice, but I doubt it. This game when you first boot it up did something that no other game has done. And it says, we think that these are your preferred sound settings. So right away, it was like, it knew that I like my games at 50%, like 50% master. It wasn't loud. It wasn't whatever. So I kind of like that. I was like, oh, this is pretty neat. I like that. I don't have to go in and tinker with all the stuff. A few things I don't like. One, there are so many voice lines that you get sick of it. Jeff the land shark, his movement abilities, he can go into the ground and he sticks a fin up like it's Jaws. But every time he does that, he goes like da 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 da, and I'm like, dude, shut up.
Oh, that sounds annoying.
Jeff the land shark, shut up. You beautiful idiot. Be quiet. There's a lot of that, and then there's a lot of colors and particles, like when you're in a battle from all these other heroes and what you're throwing out, and it just gets a little busy, and that can get a little very confusing as you're trying to figure out everything that's happening. Overall, the more I play it, the more I like it. At first I was like, it's not Overwatch. I don't really like it, but I think I like it because it's not Overwatch right now. It feels fresh while still being familiar, if that makes sense. And the matches are very quick, so it's kind of palatable to just keep running like these quick matches. So
what is the progression system like?
It is a level. It's a level system.
There's challenges.
There are challenges you can do. There are achievements that'll unlock like certain currencies. It has like 3 different currencies, as a free-to-play game does. I think they call it a luxury battle pass. That is much like the Fortnite battle passes, where you can choose what you want to buy with your currency instead of going across like a timeline. But you still have to, much in the way of like Helldivers 2, like you still have to spend a certain amount in page 1 to move down to page 2 type thing, if that makes sense.
Oh, good old Helldivers 2. That game died. Man,
just like, where is your third faction? Like, let's go, dude. You've been talking about Illuminates for like 6-7 months. Just drop them already. What are you doing? So yeah, I've really enjoyed my time with Rivals. I'm gonna keep playing it. Right now there's a bunch of people in like some blended Twitch communities that have been playing it a lot. So it's a pretty fun game to pick up for like, an hour or two. Again, is it gonna kill Overwatch? Probably not, but it has a chance to, because it's fun, it's chaotic, and I kind of like that it's a little unbalanced. I don't need everything to always just be the same. And as you learn heroes, like, you're going to learn counters. Yeah, Iron Fist is annoying, but you'll figure out a counter for him.
Yeah, the TV show was bad too.
I never even watched it because Iron Fist is like, so, to me, I'm sure we're going to have the only Iron Fist fan that listens to us. And he's
they're going to be like, dude, he's so good.
He's going to be raging like, oh, you didn't see Run 3 Volume 6 where he took on Daredevil and beat the crap out of him. We don't care. Nobody cares. Shut up.
Actually, that was issue 7.
Nobody cares.
We don't care. Nobody cares. That's it.
Are you ready? Are you ready for this segue? I wrote it down. So Pez says that Marvel Rivals is like Overwatch, which has Vanguard, but Dragon Age has Veilguard, and Court has finally completed Dragon Age Veilguard. Tell us about that. How was that? Claps in chat. W.
I really enjoyed just playing a game and not having to worry about like having time limits. Like when we, it's a thing, but like I just enjoyed playing this game, and I actually had a hard time putting it down. But I will say this: The graphics look unbelievably amazing on the PS5 Pro. I looked at it on my PS5. I've looked at it on my PS5 Pro. I've looked at the different things. Like the level design is great in the game, but when you're walking through areas and stuff like that, that little extra, getting that 60 frames per second with the 4K, it's unbelievable. It just this type of game because you're always going into different areas of the Veilguard and it's just so much better. It just looks good. The puddles. I can't stop talking about the puddles. They look great. Waterfalls look great. The game just looks very beautiful. They did a very good job of making this game. Um, Dragon Age fans will be happy. There's a lot of callbacks to the original game. There are characters that from the original games that come back and you get to use them. Well, I shouldn't say use them, but they're in the game. There is a twist at the end of the game. There's a lot of good. The main storyline of this game is fantastic. The helping each individual character that you're with, I thought it was a little cumbersome. I thought I had too many characters. I think they should have narrowed it down a little bit because some of the characters were kind of the same. So then you just don't end up using them, and it's kind of sucks. I got 90% of the trophies, so I really like this game. Like I finished every single side quest available in the game. I finished every single faction, everything. Everything's done. Went in, I had every character level up to level 10. I did it all. I did everything with it. I think the combat is great, which at first I was a little apprehensive about because the combat is not like most Dragon Age games, and it's more similar to what Final Fantasy 16. Is that the last one? But I don't get those half hour, 45-minute boss fights, which I don't like. And because you know, it cares for my time. So it respects my time. So I do something. No, each mission isn't too long. Each side mission isn't too long. There are some side missions though they're just talking. And I think that's the biggest fault of this game. The dialogue for the side missions kind of sucks. Like, really sucks. Like, you have some missions where the characters you're with are just whiny babies and they drive you insane. And it's just like, okay, why are we doing like we're in a world where people are literally taking swords and chopping each other in half. And this is what you're complaining about right now? Like, oh my God, get a grip on reality. I think they tried to lean too far one way, and I think you've decapitated a lot of your audience and forget that guess what? This is a fantasy world. I know that people try and cancel games and all that, but now there's like two separate social media platforms, and guess what? They all don't matter. They're all just an echo chamber. It doesn't make a difference. People are going to buy the game. I think if we haven't learned anything last year with regards to Hogwarts Legacy when everybody wanted to cancel that game and it was the number one selling game for the year and it's a great game. Like it's just whatever. It's just a video game. Like it's just a video game. And I think the issue with this is they went too far one way and just as someone that everybody should be equal, but like, oh my God, some of the dialogue in this is just it's so hard to deal
Too
with.
much. It's too
It's
much.
too much. It's too much. It's I couldn't believe how bad it was. I was just like, "Oh my god." And I've talked to a lot of people that have played this game, and they're all like, "Yeah, it's tough.
Mm.
It's really tough." I get it. They didn't want to be canceled, and they got all these different characters, lots of female characters in this game. It's great. But man, the side quests are terrible. But I will say this, the animation of the characters is fantastic. Each individual character has its own different combat styles. But like I said, if you pretty much have a male character and a female character that do the same thing each time. That's what they did.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but it's true. So they all have their special powers, but there's different armors and different weapons that you get throughout the world that are in these special treasures. And the dialogue actually of the characters talking while you're going through the missions in the world. That's not bad. There's like some side character conversations, and there's even relationships that can happen between the side characters between each other.
Ooh,
I
nice.
will say this: if you're playing a BioWare game, we want the bound chicka wow wow, and you get to romance in this, but you don't get the bow chicka wow wow like we get. You don't get to get down and dirty.
Mm. There is
Like
no
I
Rookie
holy.
don't want to give it
mistake.
away. Maybe you do in the end, but it's not like, Mass Effect when we're like, oh damn.
Yeah, we just throwing it everywhere.
Yeah, it
Up and
is
down the
not
pitch.
happening that way. And you can also only pick one person to romance. Like you can keep romancing, but when you finally decide to romance the one, it tells you that you're, this is the only one you can have.
Oh,
You can't be a slime ball on the side and have more than one side piece. You can't do that.
Make it like Baldur's Gate 3 where I can love everybody at the same time.
Nope, so you can't do that.
Horrible.
I will say this:
even Persona 4 lets you do that.
Yeah, exactly.
What a game!
It has you 3 dialogue choices. I don't know if the choices do anything because it seems that from everybody I've talked to, it still progresses the story to the same spot. So I was like, okay, so you can either be sympathetic, a smart aleck, or a jerk. So you got to choose, or forceful. Like they put the character shows like arms crossed, or you can just give thumbs up all the time. I chose halfway through the game that I wanted to be super serious. I'm like, you know what? If you're gonna have this terrible dialogue, I'm gonna be a smart mouth the whole time. So you can do that. It's a good game. I finished it. Let's see. I put 48 hours into the game.
That's a good.
Wow, that is a
stretch of time.
I feel like that's the most you've played a single player game in a while.
Yes, and that was the thing. I got 90% of the trophies. Some of them I can't get because I'm not grinding to go get them. It's just not gonna happen.
Grinding
But
trophies, the worst.
I really liked the game. I thought the trophies were decent. Like I got 90%, and all I did was play all the side missions and play the game. It was almost like a PlayStation first party where they were giving you the trophies to play the game. I highly recommend the game. If you're a fan of Dragon Age, I say go out and buy it. I wouldn't even think twice. It's worth the bang for your buck. And it respects your time.
Imagine it's going to be on sale too.
Yeah, it's an EA game
for the holidays.
It's a good game.
Yeah,
they did a good job. I was very worried because it's a different animation style, but I think they did a good job with it. I think they could do better with regards to the side missions, but good step for BioWare, a step in the right direction after the Mass Effect Andromeda. I think they did a good job with this game.
Still liked Andromeda.
Yeah, you're like the only person.
That's okay. If there's only one fan, it's me.
But they did a very good job with this game. Like Pez, I think you would like it.
When it goes on sale, let's go.
Add it to the list. So, I don't have a segue for this.
Great. Wait, what are you talking about?
Star Wars Outlaws.
Hold on. So I was just talking about dragons, but now I think we need to get out of this world.
Court played the hero, but Waba is an outlaw. A Star Wars outlaw.
You're not good at this, hey Waba?
What do you mean? Me? Oh, at least whatever. Fine. Okay, yeah, I did. So I know I already talked about my experience with the game, but they just came out. If you have the season pass, they just came out with Star Wars Outlaws Wildcard. So a few things happened with this new update. One, they made stealth not as mandatory in certain spaces, which is good.
Yeah, I can't wait to go back and play this game again.
Like I minded in some places, but it wasn't like super challenging. I noticed too in my playthrough that when you get a heavy weapon, like when you pick one up, you can actually climb up ladders now instead of just dropping it at your feet, so you can kind of actually use the weapons that they put in the world. But more importantly, this is a new story mission. I'll tell you right now, it took me 2.5 hours, so I actually played it last night. I started at 9 and I finished it at like 11:30, and I took my time a little bit.
Work the next day? Who are you staying up that late for? Crazy.
I'm usually up until about 11:30, 12.
I'm built different.
And then up at 6 a.m., baby. Let's go.
You are definitely not built different.
He's built some way.
Yeah,
I'm built. I don't know if it's different. I mean, it might be different from everyone else.
I'm just built different.
You're built like a Dunkin' Donuts.
Built different.
Dude, I love Dunkin' Donuts.
That's why Pesla and I get along.
Do they still have the blueberry donut there?
Blueberry?
Yeah. That's the best. Like when I come in May,
we'll bring you one.
Here's the deal. When you pick me up at the airport this time, I want a coffee and a blueberry donut.
What is this, Uber Eats?
Yeah.
Well, dude, he picked me up and he went to Dunkin's for himself last time.
Yeah, he knows what he wants.
I
He
didn't.
picked me up and he literally said, "Can you hold my iced coffee for a sec?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, some might call him a wild card.
Thank you. I
See?
like it.
That's
But
still not good.
I tried. But
Continue.
basically, the theme of this is you can play it at any point. You don't have to be finished with the game. You get a mission from a broker there's a high stakes sabacc tournament that's held in a secret location, and there's a very wealthy
Jabba's
person that
palace?
wants you to enter it for them. I'm not going to go into any more story beats because, frankly, I think the story is actually really fun. It's very Star Wars, very on brand the whole time. It's kind of like one thing again I've talked about in the past is like this game nails the Star Wars vibe every friggin' step of the way. It's so good. The humor, the voice acting, the pacing. It's so well done. So there's a sabacc game, so I bet you can guess a few people that might be there. And of course things don't go according
Colt
to plan.
45.
Yep.
Captain Picard.
Close. But it's really cool kind of like seeing where this tournament takes place, learning even still more about like different parts of this world, and something that I would say is kind of different because you get to where the tournament is and guess what, you don't have a ticket, so now there's a small contained portion of the game where you have to try to figure out how to get a ticket to go, and you can also explore the world a little bit too. And find different clues and different things along the way that's going to help you going forward. So again, I just thought that was really neat. And then after, it takes there's some missions that are back on, some of the worlds that you've been on before.
So you finished this game before?
Yeah. Well, it took me 2.5 hours. It wasn't long, and I've already finished a lot.
Finished the main story of the other game.
Oh yeah, I've already finished that.
I gotta go back and play. I stopped playing because I was getting too many bugs.
Yeah, I definitely think they've improved it now.
The stealth aspect was annoying.
Terrible.
Force stealth,
especially when it
force stealth with no like escape option. Like it's just over the moment you're caught. Did not even. I remember in our 3 Dads chat, I was raging to you guys about the first stealth mission because I kept getting caught. And I was like,
no issue with that one.
I do not like stealth games. I don't really like Splinter Cell games.
Well, you do as long as it's like Assassin's Creed stealth. There's a difference.
Yeah, but I'm okay getting caught and being able to run. Not getting caught and they're like, do it again.
I think now it's changed. I didn't get to kind of experience that because again, I'm outside the main mission. But one thing that I think it does interesting is they'll use places over and over again for story missions. Like there's a let's call it like an outlaw hideout that's used for several story missions, and it's reused for this one. So I'm seeing like chests I've already opened and stuff like that. I don't have a huge issue with that. It's a creative way to kind of use the assets and focus on like other things. Like they made a whole new area for you to be in. It's not a huge area. It's on like a new planet, but like they did that. But then they reuse something I've been to several times throughout the main game, which that might not matter if you haven't beaten the game. But at this rate, if you've enjoyed the game, chances are, that you might have already done that. So I mean, I would say that's my only criticism, but I wouldn't say that's like a deal breaker. Frankly, that part doesn't really even matter that much. It's a very small portion, but it felt rewarding. It was fun. I think again, this story is very cool and engaging, and I think they just nail what the game's supposed to be. And I know again, there's been a lot of criticism about this game and polish and stuff like that, which I think that's all fair.
Mine was the polish. I had a lot of issues playing that game,
and I don't disagree. But being able to, I like because I don't do a lot of season passes, and I'm again fortunate enough to have gotten this one. Shout out Ubisoft, and I feel like it's nice to see missions that aren't just like, oh, I'm just going to tack on this. Like, oh, it's like, no. This is actual like value. And it can be played whether or not you finish the game or not, which I think is pretty cool. And you get some cool rewards with it as well that'll help you along. So
as a Ubisoft apologist, I would say that their season passes are always good. I'll say it right now. They put a lot into their games. And
I just looked it up now. So it's included with Ubisoft Plus. So if you already are a big UB fan, you'll be able to get this. It also, what is it? $14.99 is what it is on its own. Is it worth that? I think that's kind of for you to decide. I thought it was a great, again, 2.5 hours, so $15. I mean, you can see a movie for that type of price. So if you're looking for something to do,
not in Canada.
well, Canada notwithstanding, not in Australia, we know that. But it's definitely a good way to spend kind of like an evening or something to do on the weekend. I know the season pass is 40, so if you love this game, I mean, again, you're gonna get your value. There's you also get some more like goodies for outfits. You get one that's inspired by Boba Fett. You get another one that is I don't know what it was. It's like a Ronin. I didn't like that one. The Boba Fett one was cool. Again, feedback on that is it doesn't give you any benefits. So whereas you can wear gear that will give you like active benefits, like I wear the Crimson Dawn gear and it helps you with stealth. That's why I didn't mind stealth as much. This one doesn't. It's just cosmetic. So that's kind of like, why would I use that? And there's no transmogs. So it's like, I wish I could wear this, but I have no reason to. So I'd like to kind of see that done. And you also get some new speeder stuff too. So again, my speeder looks like Boba Fett, and his helmet's hanging on the side. That's kind of creepy. I will say this: there is an outfit that you do get in this game or in this level. That it's pretty cool. Is it going to be used for outside of this? Probably not. Maybe in some instances, but if you are a Sabak fan, this will be a lot of fun.
Who's a Sabak fan?
Me. Love this
Wow,
game.
you are the guy that likes the game inside the game, eh?
That's how it is.
Can I say something?
Obviously.
I was going to interject with
obviously.
I love when there are good games in a game.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sabak, like Gwent, like Knucklebones in
Hearthstone.
Like Knucklebones in Cult of the Lamb. Like if there is a good poker in Red Dead Redemption 2, if there is a good like side game to go do something else for a bit, I will go do that.
Do Vegas get
love
kicked
those
out of
things.
every casino?
I love those things. I think they're so much fun. When they're
But
good,
yeah.
when they're bad, pass.
Oh. Sabak is great.
Speaking of Ubisoft, do you know that my daughter has become obsessed with the Crew Motorfest?
Really?
Wow.
Yes. So out of nowhere, so it's a PS5 Pro game. So I downloaded it. I was like, I wanted to see how good the cars look and such to test out the PS5 Pro. By the way, the game looks unbelievable. Like 9 times better. It's interesting. I at first was like, oh, the Pro's good. But like having the TV to use it on and having these games to look at, Crew Motorfest looks unbelievable. When you play a race car game and you get all the shadows and all the different, reflections in the ray trace, it looks really good. But my daughter won't stop playing this game. Like won't stop playing this game now. Wow, but what'd you just notice? You have it? You didn't realize it?
No, I was finding an article for a next good topic.
Oh,
You know
okay.
what?
Yeah,
you know what
you
game
have to
she
go to
won't
that
be
yet.
obsessed with? X Defiant.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
God.
That's an X game.
And that's a game Court enjoyed for a bit.
I
right?
did, which is kind of sad when you think about it.
For the uninitiated, welcome to the Ubisoft podcast. We are 3 Ubisofts and a console. X Defiant, a team shooter? Hero? No, it's not really a hero shooter. A battle royale, team battle royale. I don't really know how to define it, and I think that's part of the problem. It will be going offline officially in June 2025.
I liked it, but there was no one to play with.
Free to play. Had factions from Ubisoft games like the cleaners from the Division 2 are in there. A bunch of, I think the Splinter Cell guys were in there. I can't remember. I honestly can't remember because I downloaded it, played it once, and went, pass. So yeah, Court as the X Defiant guy. Thoughts? You can also say no thoughts because it kind of felt like it came and went.
I don't think, one, there wasn't a lot of people playing the game. 2, I found it was very niche. I really liked the fact that the different factions of the Ubisoft, I thought the gunplay was very good. I just didn't think there was enough people playing, and I didn't like the game modes as much as I wanted to. I thought the maps were pretty decent. I thought they had very good bare bones, but I think it was too little too late, and there's not a lot of room for these type of games if you can't get it right off the bat. And they already have the Division 2, and I was just like, and they have I just didn't know why they needed this in their portfolio, and I didn't have the time to give to the game. It didn't take my attention. That's what I'm gonna say.
That's fair. I
That's
mean,
all
it
I'm
came
giving it.
out. I'm trying to see where it came out. I mean, it came out in May of 24. It's like
That's wild. I don't understand, and we don't need, but I know we talked about it with Concord, but like, I feel like a lot of these like this happens all the time where like one game does well, so now everybody feels like they need to make one. Like,
Agreed.
you know, we saw it with Pirates. Like, Ubisoft to decide they need to make that game that we talked about was a Skull and Bones.
the problem, like
Zombie
the problem with
games.
Concord, right, was it's a hero shooter that you had to pay $40 for.
Fair.
Like, why is Marvel Rivals doing so well? Because it's a hero shooter that's free to play. Same with Overwatch, free to play, right? They're gonna get you on your microtransactions. I think people lose sight. Like, people look at the popularity of Fortnite and they're like, you know what? I'm just gonna go make another Fortnite. And it's like, you cannot do that. That game is now, I don't know, it feels like 20 years old.
They're making an FPS now.
I'm waiting for Suicide Squad to be free. Like, is anybody playing this?
Are they disconnected? They're oh no, I thought that was a different one. No, was that it?
No, I think they're sunsetting it at some point, and they were gonna just put an offline mode.
Yeah.
During the Steam Autumn sale, it was $5, and I still wouldn't pay that much.
Well, I saw it for $25, and I thought it was not worth my money.
It was $5 on Steam. It was free at one point through like Amazon Prime Gaming or whatever, and I still was like,
but you couldn't get into play. Here, I'll go into it right now. What's it at right now? It is, what's it called again?
Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. Rocksteady kills a franchise.
Dude, what a terrible, like, this is what I don't get. Why are all these companies trying to pigeonhole? Like, there's just not enough.
Because
there's not enough.
Are trying to jump on
$89 right now.
Yeah,
who is going to pay
They're
that?
trying to jump. Here's the problem. If you're going to insanely monetize a game, make it free.
It is $23.99 for the deluxe edition right now. I almost want to play it, just buy it, just to play the story. Because it's Batman.
Just keep waiting.
Yeah. It's going to go on. It's going to go on
Coming
sale.
down.
I guarantee if you're looking at the the PlayStation Store, I guarantee there's going to be like a winter sale.
No, it is.
Sale.
It is regular $120. It's $23.99.
I still think that's too much money. That's just me.
But I want to see the bad story of Batman dying.
But the problem is, like, Rocksteady was like, yeah, we'll charge a premium and then gouge you for every skin you can get. But if they made it a free-to-play game and then we're like, here's like a terrible battle pass, here is like some terrible skins, people are willing to throw $20 at a game to check it out. Or, people don't want to pay $90 for a game and then have to pay for skins or people shouldn't have to pay for Madden or NHL and then have to buy packs. Like, that's not how it should work. But because they have a monopoly on that market, right? They have a monopoly on the football market and the hockey market. 2K has it on the basketball market. In shooters, you don't have that. You can't just be like, we're going to do an exclusive license with a battle royale because it doesn't exist like it does in the NFL or NHL or whatever. And that's why Concord failed, because it was $40 on top of all this.
No, that game was not good.
Right, but even if it was free, people will play a not good game if it's free. And then, you'll have the marks who will play it and love it and buy their little battle passes and their skins for Krog or whatever the dude's name was. I don't even know. And then you have games like X Defiant that nobody asked for, that Ubisoft was like, hey, people love all these games. What if we brought everyone from these games together in this game? And the Ubisoft community said, no.
My issue was I just wanted a Splinter Cell game. Just give me
one.
more Assassin's Creed.
And a Watch Dogs.
Oh, also Soul Reaver Legacy of Kain 1 and 2 Remastered is out now. Waba.
I mean, Crystal Dynamics?
The Crystal Dynamics?
Love them. I know we talked about it before a little bit, but Corno, you want to bring up the Tencent situation with Ubisoft recently.
Yes. So it seems that Ubisoft not only is like sunsetting X Defiant, laying off employees. They closed down Ubisoft San Francisco. They're closing down studios. They look to be trying to get a deal where the powers that be still stay in power but they sell off their shares to Tencent.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, and so I have the issue too. One, because I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan, as you know, huge Division fan, as you know. Tencent turns everything into 2K. That's my issue I have. Tencent is like the king of let's turn every game into a slot machine. So I'm very worried that the single player king, which was Ubisoft, who stopped doing it to try and do these other things that it turned out to be a bad idea. My games might be getting sunsetted because they're going to sell to Tencent, and I'm worried.
Yeah, they've been trying to go after Ubisoft for a while. Like there was like a threat of like a hostile takeover, which I don't want that to happen to Ubisoft, but like that's the type of stuff I love. Like just like legit like dodgeball vibes. Like you can't, you're not the boss of me. Actually, I own 51%. Yes, I am. That kind of hostile takeover stuff. I find that super interesting how people can maneuver that. However, it seems like straight up how do you Yermont? How'd I do? French Canadians?
Yves Guillemot.
7 out of 10.
Close. Fair. But it seems like they're straight up telling them like, hey, Tencent, we just want your money. And that's fair. But I don't think that typically happens with a company like that. Just looking through some of the games that they have. You're right, they're all slot machines. Slot machine go brrr. So I think they were straight up just saying like, hey, you make an investment in us, we're gonna make you money, except you don't get to tell us what to do. That's not typically how things work. So I'm interested to see if they can make this work. It seems like they are putting their foot down if it can't, but also too with some of the decisions they made. Outlaws, again, love that game. Underperformed.
I think that they put it out, unfortunately, because they have shareholders. I think Outlaws got put out because they didn't want to wait, but the game wasn't ready to come out. And I think that hurt because, like, for me, huge Star Wars fan, I kept getting crashes. Remember, I couldn't pass a certain level.
Game crashed for me twice.
I could do.
I started over.
I could do.
Again, love the game. Recommend it. I think it's a very solid 7 out of 10. Like, but again, it had its problems. Assassin's Creed Shadows got pushed too. So it's very interesting to see what's happening.
I think Assassin's Creed Shadows got pushed because of how bad Star Wars Outlaws did. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's what I think happened.
And hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully, they take some of the lessons learned from Star Wars on, that maybe Assassin's Creed, different things that they needed to do, whether it's polish or, the bugs that we both experienced, things like that. So,
do you guys want to hear something kind of scary when it comes to Tencent? Do you want to know? I would love to. Do you want to know the companies that they own or are invested in? 100%. 100% own Riot Games, League of Legends. 40% own Epic Games. 40%.
40%.
30%
they're making a move
of Larian, Baldur's Gate 3. 16% of From Software. So your Dark Souls, your Sekiro, your
but it's PlayStation owns the other big chunk of that. I think they're gonna. That's that rumor, right?
14% of Krafton Studios. PUBG. Krafton's the guy that did PUBG. They own 11% of Ubisoft that we already talked about. They own 5% of Blizzard. They own 80% of Grinding Gear games, so your Path of Exile games. They own 80% of that. They own 14% in Remedy. They own 100% of Leiyu Technologies, owner of Digital Extremes. Any other undisclosed investment in Platinum Games. 10% in Paradox Interactive. I'm trying to see any other like big ones, and they own a undisclosed investment in Discord.
Ooh, so they're friends with PlayStation.
When you mentioned,
there's a lot of crossovers between them and PlayStation, eh?
Even Sony owns some of Epic Games as well.
Did you guys see that new thing with PlayStation and Apple?
No.
So all Apple Glass will all work on PSVR 2.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool. Finally.
Yeah. So
finally they're doing something with that.
So Pez, you mentioned about Epic, and I thought that was interesting. 40%. That's a huge stake.
Yeah, $330 million investment in Epic Games.
So I'm not doing too much research. So if you actually know about this situation, sorry, I'm just going by what I see at the top of Google because I don't have time for that. Basically, I said, how much of Epic does Epic own of shares? So the founder and CEO of Epic Games has 28%, and Tencent has 40%. So they own more. It doesn't
dork Tim Sweeney.
Yeah, it doesn't matter like in the sense of things. But it still does mean that he needs 23% to not be floating around. Disney owns 7%, Sony owns 4.9%, and there's another a minority shareholder of the people that own the Lego.
How
group.
much does Sweeney own? 23%?
28.
So he's not even the majority shareholder.
No, but it does. I mean, no, it doesn't matter. Like, you know what I mean? Like as long as they don't get another 11. But like theoretically, if they figured out a way to buy out Disney and Sony's, which I don't think that would happen, but like they basically get it. And Disney owns a 1.5 billion stake. And if they're willing to talk about buying Ubisoft, I don't think 1.5 billion, like, you know what I mean? Like they could swing
billion.
I mean, it's possible that like, so
I'm not that they're trying to buy Epic. It's just very interesting and telling that they already have these positions in place. Like I know we talked about like the hostile takeover of like Ubisoft potentially, but like it's like they're positioning themselves like 20-30%. Like they
actually invested that 11% in Ubisoft to stop a hostile takeover of Ubisoft.
Isn't that wild? Wild. They're like, no, that's like you can't be the bad guy. We're the bad guy. It's like the kid that kicks the kickball in the woods after he strikes out.
And I mean, there's some like caveats to all this. Like they own 30% of Larian Studios, but they actually don't have voting rights. They just reap the financial benefits of owning that stock. Only, what the heck's the guy's name? Sven Vinke, the CEO and owner of Larian, and his wife make the decisions for that studio. So Tencent owns 30% of it, but can't even vote on any of its strategy, any of that stuff, which is actually probably the best way to own stock, where you're just like, yeah, we'll own 30% of it. Do whatever you want.
But also too, like something like that, like limits Ubisoft's way to like gain capital, because like normally what you can do is like, yeah, let's just issue some shares and we'll just gain money to do something. You can't, because it's going to dilute like the people who you want to hold it, and Tencent will probably just scoop them all up.
It was
really interesting.
By the way, Vivendi tried to do the takeover of Ubisoft in 2018.
Remember that? That's right. So yeah, that's like honestly like funding for Ubisoft, and probably the reason why like they have to be very particular, because they don't have that method of funding. That's interesting.
Dude,
Court, good topic. I love stuff like this.
Dude, it is crazy to see where Tencent's tendrils are in gaming.
What is a trendle?
Sorry.
Where trendle is trending.
Tendril.
But also too, like I said, if you actually have knowledge on this and you don't like the assessment that we just did, we just Googled it quickly. So
yeah, we don't care. Nobody cares. Just
send me the prospectus, nerd. Prove your work.
Shut up and listen.
If you don't like Waba, I get it.
Yeah, we can all agree this guy stinks.
Come on.
He's not even the best streamer on this show. Last thing I just wanted to bring up, it's about PlayStation Plus happening in December, and the reason I want to highlight it is because some games that we have recommended to you personally are going to be there. So one of my favorite games, and we got to interview one of the founders of Mojiken last time. A Space for the Unbound is going to be free with your PlayStation Plus subscription if you have like the medium tier, whatever it is, essential. And then also Coffee Talk 1 and 2, which we've talked to you about and reviewed on our channel. So
we interviewed the writer of Coffee Talk 1, Junke.
I've even met the writer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We love Toji.
I love Togi, dude. I love him. I can't wait to see him again. I hope they come to PAX again.
God, I need to check. They're actually coming out with like a lot of there's like a zombie game that's coming out that I bet's going to be at PAX.
I'm in.
I love it. But yeah, these 3 games are going to be there. There's a whole lot of other great games, but like I'm telling you, like this is the time. You know, the games have been going down on sale. I'm like, this is it. Go play it. And Cord also said an interesting sentence when I brought this topic up before stream. Is that can we admit that PlayStation Plus is finally better than Game Pass? And
I think it's good.
I think we all agree. Cord, why'd you think that?
I look at the offering now on PlayStation Plus. One, I think they've done a good job of the premium, where I can get all the Sly Cooper games, like all the classic games are there now, and they're all PS5 enhanced. So they all have like this. They've done what Xbox did with their old games, but the thing I think with PlayStation and the advantage they have is their old games are better. Like Xbox has their classic catalog is your Crackdown, your Halo, and your Gears. But PlayStation has their classic catalog. It's huge. There's a lot of great single player games, and I just feel there's a lot better value in the games that are coming to it. And it feels like Xbox, because they spent so much money on Bethesda and all these other things, that lately the games coming to Game Pass are like games with gold games from the past. Like they're just not that good.
Yeah, and
that's just my opinion.
The biggest selling point seems to be day one on Xbox, but then also too, you're like, yeah, you can wait a little bit and you'll get the game. And like, that's cool and it's important for some people, especially if you're looking forward to it. But like for example, like Persona 3 Reloaded was on Xbox. I played it for a bit. Then I ended up canceling my subscription, and now I'm looking at it right here on PS5 in a disc form. And like, I don't have to worry about my subscription lapsing and losing my progress. I just figured it's like my what I felt was valuable is no longer.
Charizard, Mewtwo, or Pikachu?
Oh, Pikachu, come on. Easy. The boy.
Is he chunky? How chunky?
Oh, I already got chunky Pikachu. I'm just opening a Pikachu pack.
They have a chunky Pikachu. Oh, by the way, yeah, maybe we should spend some time next week for our last episode of the year. It's going to be our cozy Christmas episode.
You want to talk about Pokemon Pocket?
We have to talk about Pokemon Pocket.
I am playing. I have over 1,000 cards in my. I can do like 3 10-pack openings. I just don't though.
It's great. And
it's amazing.
If you don't have it, download it. It's free. It's on your phone.
Kids will love it.
Chili's already has your information. Why not give it to another company?
Welcome to Chili's.
And try this game. Pez, you should try it.
Okay. I'll download it after this.
I am level 19, but almost level. I'm level 20, almost level 21. Sorry.
And as parents, it's a great game to play with your kids. My daughter's talking about Pokemon now. I watched the Pokemon anime episode 1 with her.
It gets into Pokemon hard, eh? Like
I went out and bought packs. I bought a lunchbox full of Surging Sparks, and then I bought another booster pack. I spent like $50 on cards.
Are you gonna have a rip 'em live on stream?
Yes.
I got for Christmas. Emma's getting a trainer box, elite trainer box for Surging Sparks.
I saw them at like a Walmart. There was like a.
So did you see the next set coming out? It's Surging Sparks, but it's Eevee. My daughter's
she's gonna go crazy.
I know, right?
I just want that Pikachu because the Pikachu goes for like 400.
I've learned so much about Pokemon in the last little bit. Like I've learned that like it comes out in Japan first, and whatever sets come out there, then we get it here. So right now it's Surging Sparks, but with Eevee on it. Like I'm all over that.
Which one's her favorite Eevee? Is it Sylveon, the one with the little?
Any Eevee pretty much. She likes Flareon. She likes the Glaceon. That's the water one, right? She likes the ball.
I follow a subreddit, shocker. This is going to surprise you guys, called Poke Investing. And it talks about how people buy elite trainer boxes and hold them, which is why I haven't sold a
so many people do that.
4-pack of 151. 151, I'm waiting for the reprint because I love that set. I want the Charizard from it so bad, where I might actually just spend money on it and get it graded. I don't care if it's a 10. But I've gotten so much more back into it. It's great. I have hockey cards, which I've gotten really back into. Pokemon cards. I can't buy hockey
cards right now.
Ooh. And then I don't know. It's just cool to be able to get back into some of these hobbies that I had as a kid. They're back. They're cool again. It wasn't just a phase, Mom.
A Ute.
And also too, I like being able to share like my old cards with her. Like obviously I have them graded, and the new shiny ones we got like a $10 card. She doesn't care about the value, but I show her this is why we put it in the sleeve. This is how you put it in art. Like take care of these things because you never know. I can't explain to her like, yeah, I have valuable stuff that's half as valuable because
level 21, dude. Yeah. Look at that.
Live on stream. But yeah, she loves it, and she loves when you send her when we get the gifts from you.
I have
liking our stuff.
184 hourglasses right now.
We try to like your stuff. She likes sending hearts to people. Like
Yeah, I like your
the
stuff.
wonder
You
pics.
notice I like your stuff all the time.
I need I'm remembering how to do that. It's just going
I
there.
go
hit the
in
like
every
button.
day. First thing in the morning, I go in. I like whatever's there, and then
Hit
you
the
get
like
another
button.
friend showcase by the end of the day, and I do the same
Yeah,
over and over again.
I'm still learning some of the mechanics, but it's fun. So we'll talk about that next next episode.
Oh, almost 3,000 subs.
Let's go.
Let's go. We'll
Any
also be
final...
talking about our games of the year.
That's right.
Astrobot.
And we're gonna fight about it
just
because
giving it
it's...
away for free. No tease
Wow.
at all.
Where's
Just
the
gave
big
it away.
market tease?
That game's amazing, dude.
Just gave it away.
I legitimately need to think about that.
I don't. Mine are going to be incredibly easy.
Baldur's Gate.
Have you guys heard of this game
that
called
came out last
Tetris?
year. What?
Tetris? Have you guys heard about this? Small indie game?
I believe it's called Tetris.
Oh, you're French Canadians in shambles right now. It's like that and R&R.
Oh, no.
But yeah, we'll look forward to that. So we'll do our last one of the year, and maybe we'll share some fun Christmas memories or something. I don't know.
Matthew Potter got another goal. If you saw that in my
Yep,
Discord.
wake up. Yep, Bruins, wake up. What are you doing?
Yeah, you got the truth there and said you bought Elias Lindholm, who's an invisible man. All right, any final thoughts for the folks?
Yes, Atlas, let us romance Kanji in P4G. What are you doing? Next.
Let's go. Based.
I know
Court,
I
any
am.
final thoughts for the folks?
The Bruins suck.
Can I throw out another final thought without any
Yes.
explanation? Waba plays actually good at NHL in Ishul. Actually good.
You know what? I have a final thought.
Shockingly good. Oh, it's no.
Dude sucks.
Damn it. Damn it. I brought it up.
Pez,
I did it.
Little B.
The
Pez
division
live
is
on this
dividing
show-
us.
Pez live on this show said that he would hop back in the divisions too, because Court's been playing that for ages. And Pez is a lying sack of poop.
Don't let him gaslight you.
Finally,
listener.
someone says it.
Don't let him
Here.
gaslight you, listener.
Sack of poop.
Yep.
True.
I love playing Ishul because Pez plays defense, and that allows me to sit by the blue line and just be annoying.
Waba's a straight cherry picker.
I have 5 goals in several games. I
A
remember
bunny sucker, as we used to call him.
Your buddies were like,
Bunny
"Where has this guy been? I've been drowning in Hut, wasting
Wasting his life away in Hut.
That's what can you do. Folks, if you had fun, make sure to
That's what she said.
subscribe to us on youtube.com/3dads-in-a-console. Also, you can check out articles. They're coming up end of the year. We're going to do a buyer's guide over at 3dadsconsole.com, so you know what you need to buy. And you have to buy it legally if you read the article.
That's right. You have to.
And use our affiliate code Bungus for 2% off.
2% off.
You're welcome. Also, drop us a like and argue with us in the comments. Why not? We can handle it. I can't. I'm fragile, but Pez can. And
I'll
Court
handle
can.
it. I'll handle it, you SOBs. Everyone who's in the comments are SOBs.
Even the ones like, hey guys, I really like your stuff. You
SOB.
I said what I said.
SOB.
Thank you folks very much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next week for the last episode of the year.
Kaboosh!